President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, for an official visit. The president is expected to commission some developmental projects, especially in the sectors of education, healthcare and roads. Bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. Still on the presidency, the president has inaugurated the newly digitalized Ayinke House, which is also known as the Institute of Maternal and Child Health in the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT. The president, who landed at the presidential wing of Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, at about 10:45 a.m. on Wednesday, arrived at Ayinke House to unveil the project and also embarked on a comprehensive tour of the facility. The center, which is Nigeria's biggest maternity hospital, was upgraded from an 18-bed facility to a 170-bed healthcare center with state-of-the-art medical equipment as well as information technology services. Speaking at the event, the state governor Akinwumi Ambode described the development as historic, expressing optimism that the facility would provide world-class childbirth and maternal care services to Lagosians and Nigerians at large. Governor Ambode said the facility was commissioned exactly 29 years ago, with the late business and philanthropist Sir Mobolaji Bankantoni donating the first dedicated maternal and child care facility to the state government in memory of his mother, hence the christened name Ayinke. Joining us to talk about the development is an IT consultant and public affairs analyst, Peter Eigbedion. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me there.
This is not the first time the president is coming to Lagos to commission projects, or across the country for that matter. But for Lagos State particularly, I was here exactly a year ago to commission certain projects, and people is saying that the one he commissioned over a year ago is yet to commence operation, and he's back again. Some are even alleging that some of the projects are uncompleted. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we have come to live in a country where these sort of things are the norm, where we've seen projects commissioned and at the end of the day, they are not operational. And in fact, it's happened across Nigeria many times. He's not the first president to do this, and I hope he's the last president to do this sort of thing. Evidently, people are unhappy because people are beginning to demand more from government. I'm not pleased to hear that, not just to hear, but to also know for a fact that some of the things that were commissioned during his visit on Wednesday are truly not in operations yet. But we hope that it'll be different from the norm going forward.
Hopefully, with the assurance coming from the governor, Governor Ambode, that some of the projects will commence operation immediately, while others will commence in May. Considering the antecedent that over a year ago this did not happen, and there are those propagating that wouldn't it have been better for the commissioning to be done when the project is ready to commence operation, maybe a day or a week or 2 days to the commencement, other than this long spells?
I agree. Typically, project management, you commission a project when certain timelines have been met, when certain milestones have been achieved. But knowing how government operates, we understand also there's a short window of time between now and the end of his tenure as governor. So it's politically expedient for him to have these projects commissioned now rather than at the end of his tenure when he's longer the governor of the state. So just for the sake of his legacy, I believe that's why this move has been made. It's a political move, I believe. I probably might be wrong as well too, but I also see that it's just for the sake of saving face politically. He's doing this for the sake of legacy. So,
do you worry about continuity of these projects? You just said it might be a political move. Do you worry that, there will be continuity when the next government comes in?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that Governor Ambode has going for him, even his detractors will say it publicly, that in terms of infrastructure in Lagos, he's been forward-thinking, he's been aggressive in pursuing development. We've seen the changes he effected in Lagos State in just 4 years. I mean, the Oshodi interchange is a world-class facility going by every standard, and I love the thought process that brought it to birth. Demolishing some roundabouts that were clusters for traffic and allowing free flow of traffic now. There were moves that Governor Ambode made, and we've seen the effects of it in Lagos, and man hours have been saved. Traffic could have been worse. So I think to be fair to him, he's done a good job. But we're concerned that the next government or next administration might not take the baton from him, because that's what happened exactly between him and his predecessor. Governor Ambode's predecessor and Governor Ambode, we didn't see quite a smooth baton exchange between both of them. We saw a lacuna in the passing the baton of leadership, and we're worried that that can happen as well. Going by what we saw happen during the campaign season for the APC, where there was an open dispute between the outgoing governor and the incoming governor.
Well, they seem to have, got their act together, so to speak. Politically speaking, they're seen together in public events. So don't you think that, feeling will spill over when the administration comes in?
We can be optimistic and hope for it, but we've seen over time that many times things like this are just done for the sake of towing party line and just ensuring that photo ops are achieved, the right words are said in public. But over time, it's going to take a lot of work, and I'm hoping and I'm even wishing that for the sake of people of Lagos and Nigeria in general, because the Ayinke House facility is a welcome development. Maternal health care is something that's suffered in Nigeria for quite a while, and seeing the effort in itself, we hope that any right-thinking person who's in leadership would want to escalate that project and do better than that. Exactly.
Okay, just a quick thought on the economic impact of some of the buses that was procured for the Ikeja project,
okay,
that are still staying idle, so to speak, over 1 year. What are the economic impact of this on the economy of the state?
Well, I don't think it's going to impact negatively on the economy of the state for now, because evidently, in fact, one of the things that people have been worried about is that how would they phase out the current buses in place without affecting the bottom line, the pockets of those who are earning a living from those means. So the fact that people are still able to make a living from the existing transport infrastructure is a good thing. Now, those buses have been procured. Thankfully, they've been procured when the exchange rate was not as high as it is now, and the fluctuations of exchange rates will not affect it now. So it's a purchase that's been made already. It's not going to affect the bottom line of the state anyhow for now. So those who are towing that argument probably don't have all the facts. I think nothing's going to go wrong until they begin to implement the use of those buses. They won't get bad that easily.
No, we hope so. The president is now on another commissioning move in Maiduguri.
Yes.
As we speak. He just landed, and we expect that he will do a couple of project commissioning. What are your thoughts about the president, doing this commissioning across states? Do you think there is any effect on his other assignments, so to speak?
Well, I don't think so. A president, by virtue of what he's called to do, is called to be, as we say, the father of the nation. So it's good to go around and see some efforts being made to do good for Nigeria. There's not been a lot of hope or positives in this country in quite a while, and to see Borno is a state where we have peculiar interest, especially because of how the effects of terrorism have reduced the capacity of humans to live well in those places, so that projects are even ongoing there, and at any stage of completion, it's a good development. We hope that people of Borno will pull themselves or be pulled out from this unfortunate era of terrorism that they've undergone, and we hope that if the president commissions projects, that those terrorists won't go and blow them up again.
Okay, one final question before I let you go on this part of the news. The president is expected to go on a private visit in a few days' time to the UK. What are your thoughts about the non-divulging of the reason why the president is leaving the country?
Well, he's entitled to a vacation. We've seen presidents across the world take some time off to go on a vacation. Barack Obama, Bill Clinton before him, George Bush before him. A lot of presidents, it's normal for presidents to take time off and not explain what they're going for. He's allowed to have that thing. I think it's not fair to poke or just to assert something is wrong just when he decides to go on. I mean, he just come to a tough campaigning season. Typically, we would advocate that he goes on his rest in Nigeria locally. I mean, they always encourage spending naira.
You are assuming that it is rest.
We're assuming it is rest. I mean, I would assume that after going through the tough campaign cycle that he has gone through in the last 5-6 months, that especially since he's won the second tenure, he will go rest and get some time before May 29.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us on the news. We'll be back to you in a bit.
Thank you.